Okay, it is day 124 of coding every day. Kind of doing a cop out again today, of not actually coding on camera. Did not a lot if you count early morning, like midnight to 3 a.m. I did a lot of coding today. I also finished my computer system principles project today. And a kind of a nice little library I found that was kind of tucked away. So probably going to go there a little more. But that was implementing a LRU functionality to a simulated cache, which is pretty simple. It was just checking. Um, it was making an LRU for each set within the cache, and then it was just like checking each line in the cache to see if the tag matched, and if the tag matched, then we brought that to the front of the LRU queue. If it didn't match, then we would look to see if there was an invalid line, and if there was an invalid line, then we'd see what the least recently used line was, and so we'd overwrite that with what we were trying to write, and then bring that to the front of the queue. So that's what I worked on mainly today. But I had my computer architecture demo today for um, the halfway point of our project. So I'd say halfway point, but I'm pretty sure the final is in 3 weeks or 2 weeks, something like that. Um, More like 2 weeks. It's like what Friday this week would be 2 weeks is the final demo. Um, which is a little earlier than the semester ends. I don't know why I was doing that, um, but yeah. Uh, Actually, there might be two more demos now that I think about it. There might be like maybe that one's like technically the final in class one, and then he might. I don't know. Anyways, so the demo went pretty good. The only thing was, I didn't have branching set up. Obviously, tried to get branching working, but for some reason, it was like skipping the entire rest of the pipeline. So I'd have like a branch if not equal opcode, and so I'd go into the pipeline, and as soon as it went through the execute stage, it would just literally skip anything that came after. Yeah, came after it. Yeah, as far as like instructions. So gonna have to look into. Actually, I told my partner to look into that, so he'll look into that. I'm gonna work more on the UI and the actual pipeline because it's a little finicky and it's a little scrappy. Like there's so much that needs to be cleaned up in this code base. So that's probably what I'm gonna be doing next week, because I need to focus on my computer system principles and linear algebra for next week. So, um, yeah. Um, yeah, but demo went good except for that. And then, oh, also I have it. DRAM is split into two. Half of it's for data, like loading and well, I mean storing values, like immediate values, and then the first half is for instruction storage. Apparently, you're not supposed to do that. So he was like, "Don't do that." So I have to change. Excuse me. Um, I have to change that. Um, and then yeah, that was basically all the feedback he had. The rest went pretty well. I'll show you where I got to for the demo. And so, actually, I'll show that now and then talk about what the rest of this project is going to look like. That's mainly what I just do on these videos now. Is just work on this project. So, okay. So, something I wanted to do actually real quick is change the multiply. Actually, just doesn't work at all. Actually, let me just remove it then. No idea why. It's probably just I don't know, some decode execute misrepresentation. Okay, so we are gonna add. I mean, here I can just. So this is the pipeline that I set up visually, which this is a pain. It like does not work. It worked enough for the demo, but it's like you can see when I take my first like step, like why are these green? Why is there an add instructions? It has to do something with some default value I'm setting, but Anyways, so register 1's already always hard coded to 1, and register 0 is always 0. When I load instructions, it actually loads them into DRAM. We had 4 instructions. This, just shows the code. Same thing. I should probably just remove this tab. We can see it here. Yeah, as for this, so you can see R2 adding into R2, R1, R1. So this is just building off of that hard-coded 1 register. So R2 should have 2 in it after it gets to this write back stage. So right now it's in fetch. Go forward another cycle. This add goes in. Step forward again. This subtract goes in. Go forward again. And so all our instructions are in here now. So if I step forward one more, this is just a no op. Shouldn't even be there really. But anyways, then we can go one more, and we can see it doesn't show it in write back. No idea why, but it just went to write back and it wrote into R2 that first value. So up next should be our add into R8. Oh, that already happened. Cheers. Okay. So next should be the subtraction. Correct. Which was what? Subtract. In R3, R1 from R8. Well, R8 has 2 and that has 1. So that should be the other way around. Anyway, so it just spams 1s because it's like negative, right? And then last one should be adding into R2, R1, and R8, which is 1 and 2, so 3. Right? Yeah. Okay. And that becomes 3. So beautiful. Also, for some reason, I wonder if I do it here, if it'll... My pipeline doesn't reset on clear instructions, so I have to redo this anyways. Okay, and then the other one I showed was load and stores. So if we step through, an add goes through, another add goes through, a store goes through, another add goes through, and a load goes through. So we just wrote the first thing, which was add into R2. So that went into R2. Step again. That should have been adding into R6, which it did. And then the next one should be halting our pipeline. So you can see waiting 1 out of 4. So step through. That's it done. It's not... Actually, did this write to memory? Yeah, it did. Okay. So that's it wrote to memory. And so now we step and it goes to write back. It shouldn't be writing back anything. Now this load is waiting, so we step through this. Did not mean to do that. I just... Oh, there we go. And then that was just loading into register 5. It was what we saved originally, so yeah, it was just that too. So that's where I got to. So none of these work yet. They didn't have to work. That's for like the final. But not bad. I mean, the pipeline is just weird. Like, I don't know why no op's going through. I don't know why this is a hard-coded bubble. But when load and stores go through it, it works properly. I don't know. No idea. But, yeah. So, as for future to this project, want to just clean up the UI and the pipeline. That's mainly just what I want to do. And the assembler. The assembler needs some work. And then my partner's going to work on the hazards in the pipeline and then branching. So, yeah. But next week, I'm probably not going to really touch this project anymore because I need to focus on linear algebra and computer system principles because I really need to do good on these next exams if I want to at least, decent grade in these classes. But yeah, so that's all I got for today. Tomorrow I don't really have much to do, so maybe we can, I don't know, I'll have to think about what I want to do tomorrow. Maybe, I mean, linear algebra, but as for coding, maybe start a new project. I don't know. Okay, anyways, I will see you tomorrow. Bye.